Hello friends, have you ever wondered how tiny changes can create massive transformations in your life? In today's video, we're going to explore a powerful book that teaches exactly that. How small habits can completely change your future. We're talking about the world-famous bestseller Atomic Habits by James Clear, a book loved by millions across the globe. This book explains that achieving big goals doesn't require huge actions. Instead, real change comes from small actions repeated consistently. Whether you want to improve your health, grow your career, or build a better personal life, this book offers lessons for everyone. In this video, I'll break down the most important ideas from the book in simple language. You'll learn how to build good habits, eliminate bad ones, understand why tiny improvements lead to massive success, and discover practical methods to make habits stick long-term. So if you want positive change in your life, and want to upgrade your daily routine, watch till the end. Let's begin this journey into Atomic Habits and take the first step toward a better and more successful life. The surprising power of small habits. Think about the things you do every day. Now ask yourself, why do you do them? And what would happen if you stopped? For example, most of us brush our teeth every morning. If you skip brushing for 2 days, you'll feel uncomfortable and notice bad breath. In simple words, brushing gives you a reward, freshness. That reward is why you repeat the habit daily. Psychologists prove this concept through experiments. In one study, a monkey was placed in a cage with a lever and a screen. Whenever red lines appeared on the screen and the monkey pulled the lever, it received fruit. Over time, the monkey learned the pattern. As soon as it saw the signal, it pulled the lever to get the reward. This is exactly how habits work. Every habit follows a pattern, a cue, followed by a behavior, which leads to a reward. For instance, some people drink alcohol when they feel stressed. Stress becomes the cue, drinking becomes the action, and relief becomes the reward. Because the reward feels good, the behavior repeats. Even harmful habits work this way. They may feel good temporarily but damage us in the long run. Yet we continue them because we chase the short-term reward. Small improvements create massive results. Let me tell you a real story. In 2003, British cycling had a terrible reputation. For nearly a century, they had won only a single Olympic gold medal, and no British rider had ever won the Tour de France. Their performance was so poor that top bike manufacturers refused to supply them bikes. Everything changed when coach Dave Brailsford was hired. His strategy was called the aggregation of marginal gains, improving every small detail by just a tiny amount. He redesigned bike seats for comfort, adjusted training conditions, optimized athlete sleep routines, improved nutrition, and even tested different massage gels for recovery. These tiny improvements produced astonishing results. In the 2008 Olympics, the British cycling team dominated and won multiple gold medals. The lesson? Small changes lead to extraordinary outcomes. If you improve just 1% every day, you can become nearly 37 times better in a year. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The same rule applies negatively. One unhealthy meal won't ruin your health, but repeating it daily will eventually cause harm. Your daily habits determine your future direction. Identity shapes habits. Why is quitting bad habits so hard and building good ones so difficult? There are two main reasons. We focus on the wrong thing. We use the wrong method. Most people concentrate on outcomes, what they want to achieve. But real transformation happens when you focus on who you want to become. Imagine two smokers refusing a cigarette. The first says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The second says, "No thanks, I don't smoke." The difference is subtle, but powerful. The first still sees himself as a smoker. The second has changed his identity. Lasting change begins when you change your self-image. Each positive habit you repeat is proof of your new identity. How habits are formed. The four-step loop psychologist Edward Thorndike discovered that behaviors followed by satisfying results are repeated, while those followed by discomfort are avoided. All habits follow 4 steps. Cue, the trigger that tells your brain to act. Craving, the desire for a reward response. The action you take reward. the benefit you receive. If any step is weak, the habit won't stick. Awareness comes first. Before building new habits, analyze your current ones. List your daily behaviors and label them as good, bad, or neutral. Don't judge yourself. Just observe. Change always starts with awareness. The best way to start a new habit. A study in Great Britain divided people into 3 groups to test exercise habits. Group 1 tracked workouts. Group 2 tracked workouts and read motivational material. Group 3 tracked workouts, read motivation, and made a clear plan stating when and where they would exercise. Only about 1/3 of people in groups 1 and 2 exercised weekly. But in group 3, over 80% followed through. Why? Because they created a clear plan. This strategy is called implementation intention, deciding in advance when and where you'll act. Motivation is helpful, but clarity is more powerful. Environment matters more than motivation. Your surroundings shape your behavior more than you think. In a hospital cafeteria experiment, researchers simply placed water bottles in more visible locations alongside soda. Without banning soda or giving lectures, soda sales dropped while water purchases increased. People tend to choose what is easiest to see and access. So if you want better habits, design your environment to make good actions obvious and bad ones difficult. Make good habits easy, bad ones hard. In the 1800s, writer Victor Hugo struggled to finish a book before a deadline. To force himself to stay home and write, he gave his clothes to his assistant and had them locked away. With no clothes to go outside, he had no option but to work. The result? He completed The Hunchback of Notre Dame ahead of schedule. The lesson? Success is easier when good habits are unavoidable and bad habits are inconvenient. How to stay consistent. Every day, Benjamin Franklin carried a small notebook listing 13 personal virtues. Every evening, he reviewed his behavior and marked whether he lived up to each value. This was an early form of habit tracking, and it works because it makes habits visible, it motivates progress, it feels satisfying to record success. Tracking turns improvement into a game, and progress itself becomes a reward. The golden rule of behavior change. How to stay consistent. Every day, Benjamin Franklin carried a small notebook listing 13 personal virtues. Every evening, he reviewed his behavior and marked whether he lived up to each value. This was an early form of habit tracking, and it works because it makes habits visible, it motivates progress, it feels satisfying to record success. Tracking turns improvement into a game, and progress itself becomes a reward. The golden rule of behavior change. We repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. Bad habits often feel good immediately but hurt us later. Good habits feel hard now but benefit us in the future. Humans naturally prefer instant pleasure, which is why discipline is challenging. To make positive habits stick, make them enjoyable. When a behavior feels satisfying, you'll want to repeat it. Final message. Atomic Habits teaches us that real transformation doesn't come from giant leaps, but from tiny, consistent steps. Key lessons. Small improvements create massive results. Identity shapes behavior. Use the 4 laws. Make habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Design your environment for success. Focus on long-term growth, not instant rewards. This book isn't just theory, it's a practical guide to changing your life. Remember, your small daily habits are the foundation of your biggest dreams. If you found this summary helpful, share it with your friends. And start one small habit today that your future self will thank you for. Thanks for watching. This is Pedia World.